Hello, so today I was drinking coffee, and I don't know if it has to do with the whole isolation situation where we're not supposed to go outside and I'm just spending too much time in my room and going crazy. I went on a thought cycle. I was thinking, okay, I'm having coffee to be caffeinated, but I might as well drink black tea. So either I could have coffee or I could have black tea. And then I started thinking, isn't coffee actually tea, but just with coffee beans instead of herbs? Because both is basically some dried stuff mixed with hot water. And the only difference is that you call it different, right? But you have different types of herbal tea. You also have green tea, you have black tea, you have various types of teas, but then you just have coffee. Roasts in coffee, but you get my point. And then I started wondering if coffee tea is a thing, like where you have coffee in a bag and you steep it like tea. And then I thought of Emma Chamberlain's coffee thingy, the thingbob, and they also are steeped in these bags. And then I got really confused because is there a difference between coffee and tea, or is there coffee tea? Because I have heard of coffee tea, but also heard of hot chocolate tea, and I'm anyways a bit confused in that situation. And then you have this typical, are you a coffee or a tea person? But I don't quite get the difference, except that one is beans and one is herbs or just other dried stuff. And then you could argue, okay, well, herbs are something different than beans, but you also have tea with like dried orange peels and things like that, and it's very confusing. And that's the tea. And then, where did that saying come from? And why isn't it called, well, that's the coffee? Because you can also spill coffee. You can spill basically anything. But why is it called spill the tea? How did that come about? So that's the plan. One, I have no idea where that originated. Maybe it's spill the tea, not spill the coffee, because usually you sip tea. You don't usually sip coffee, because usually tea, I think, is a bit hotter when you initially make it or when you drink it. So it's like something hot, something, like the new news. And that's just way hotter, and you usually usurp it. And also, when usually like the drama queens and they spill the tea or whatever, don't they usually have these cups, like these fancy China teacups? And I don't know, in my mind, tea is just something more fancy than coffee. Also because tea houses are these beautiful, like high-end things and coffee shop you find everywhere around the corner. So it's like, ooh, I spilled the tea. I don't know. Maybe it's because, usually all those in the old days, whenever that was, like all the rich noble people, they'd meet up to drink tea, because I think back then just coffee wasn't that big thing. And maybe the rich, tea was only for the rich or whatever, because I do know that tea used to be quite expensive because it was imported, so only the rich could have it. And then they'd all sit around and they'd just gossip, and you'd gossip over tea, right? So you'd gossip about stuff while you were having tea with your friends. So that's where I think it originated from. I think it originated from when people used to meet with their friends and talk over tea about all the drama in the noble world. Like countries involved in the First World War all came from one family. Maybe they were like, ooh, that was some tea.
So Wilhelm's getting a bit cocky again. So we had to bring him down and just bring him to his senses.
I don't know. Now I'm going to Google it. The expression appears to have originated in American black drag culture. It appears that tea, also spelled tea. Oh. Okay, so it's a bit differently than I thought, because actually tea is with tea, the letter is meant, not tea as in you drink tea. The expression appears to have originated in American black drag culture. It appears that tea, also spelled tea, has a double-edged meaning in black drag culture. It could refer to a hidden truth, as Chablis uses it. Sorry, I have no idea what that is. As Chablis uses it, and it could also refer to someone else's hidden truth. That is gossip. Straight life must be so boring. Okay, that kind of confuses me. I'm really bad at internet research, so this might take a while. I think I found it out, or at least I found something that seems real or seems plausible in a way that I can understand. So, T, the letter T, refers to truth, which makes sense. The phrase originated in drag culture, specifically the southern drag scene of the 90s. Originally, it was used to refer to the word truth, as in the book Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. In it, he is interviewing the Lady Chablis, that's the Lady Chablis that I mentioned before, a prominent drag performer in Savannah, about her dating life, and she notes that she avoids certain men because they're prone to violence when they found out her tea. Your tea. Yeah, my tea. My thing, my business, what's going on in my life. Oh, so basically it originated as the letter T, and then because it sounds like the tea you drink, it started to evolve into spill the tea, that's the tea, etc. That's interesting, and I learned something today. And I'm not even embarrassed that what I thought it wasn't the truth, wasn't the tea, because I think my guess was a pretty good guess, so it was a good bluff. It would have made sense. Okay, so I learned something today. Maybe you did too. I'm pretty sure that most of you did not know that. And if you did, please don't tell me, because then I'll feel really stupid and left out. So yeah, that's that with history lesson with me. That's a really bad title. I'll think of something for next time, okay? Bye!